This video will go through all the problems on our 6A worksheet. If you haven't done so yet, please pull out your blue sheet. Hopefully yours is all filled out because we will need it. Our first set of problems ask us to simplify each expression using only positive exponents. I'm just going to get this one out of our way because we're not doing that one yet. So the first thing I want to do is move any number that's got a negative exponent. So right now 20 is to the 1, so that's a positive, it's going to stay where it's at. A to the 5th, that's a positive, so it stays up front, top. But now this b to the negative 7th needs to move down. That's how we get rid of the negative sign. Notice it's not a negative 7 on the bottom, just a 7. And then the c up top is just going to stay up on the top. In the denominator, there's a 15, so I'll say times 15. And then we have a to the negative 1. Because it's negative, it needs to come up to the top. And b squared is positive, so it stays where it's at. And c squared is positive, so it stays where it's at. The last thing I want to do is simplify. I'm going to look first at the coefficients. 15 over 20 can simplify because I can divide both of them by 5s. When I divide them by 5s, I get 4/3. And then I'm going to go in alphabetical order. We have an a here, a to the 5th, and a to the 1st. Remember, when you're multiplying the a's, we add the exponents. So we get a to the 6th, and it's up top. B is next, and they're all on the bottom. B to the 7th times b squared is b to the 7 plus 2, which would be 9. And then that's our only c squared. So he would stay in the bottom. In problem number 2, we still have our negative exponents, but we also have this parenthesis going on. So we need to remember, first of all, that 1 has an exponent of 5. And we multiply the outside exponent by every single exponent inside. Not the numbers, just the exponents. When we do that, we end up with 5 squared is 2 times 1, x to the 2 times 3, and y to the 2 times negative 4. And then I'm just going to rewrite the rest of our problem, times x to the 4th, y to the 7th. And then if I start cleaning things up, 5 squared is 25. My x's, I have x to the 6th and x to the 4th. So that's going to be x to the 10th. And we have a couple different things we can do here. I just really don't like negative exponents, so I'm going to move this one down to the bottom. So now it's positive y to the 8th. And then we've got this y to the 7th up top. But we can't leave a y in both the top and the bottom. So we still have 25x to the 10. Y to the 7th cancels into y to the 8th. And then there's just one y left in our denominator. Number 3, same thing. We're going to take this negative 3 exponent on the outside and distribute it to all of the negative, or all the powers, both inside and outside. So up on top, we're going to keep the 5. And negative 1 times positive 1 would be 5 to the negative 1. Notice it's 5, it's not negative 5. And then we have r. And when we multiply negative 3 times 2, we get to the negative 6. And in the denominator, keep distributing. Negative 3 times 1 would be 2 to the negative 3. And then we have a t. It's hard to read, I know. Negative 3 times negative 3 would be t to the 9th. So I don't like negative exponents. So I'm going to move anything that's negative. So this 5 to the negative 1 is going to move down and be 5 to the positive 1. R to the negative 6 is going to be r to the positive 6 on the bottom. 2 to the negative 3 needs to pop up. And then the t stays on the bottom because it already was a positive exponent. Last thing we need to do is multiply 2 times 2 times 2. So it would be 8 over r to the 6th t to the 9th. Number 4, 3 problems for the price of 1, asks us to find all real square roots. So the square root of 169, you probably have that on the back of your blue sheet. It's 13, but it wants both the plus and the minus on there. In part B, the square root of negative 49 is imaginary, right? 7i, but it said find all real. So I would answer that there's no real roots, or not possible. And when we have the square root of a fraction, you just take the square root of the top, which is 5, and the square root of the bottom, and put on the plus and minus. And note to yourself, anytime this is an even root, then we're going to put on the plus and minus for our answer. I say that because in number 5, these are cube roots. So we're going to put a cube root on this. And anytime this index is odd, there's no plus or minus. It's just the same sign that's underneath. And these we do super fast by looking at our blue sheets. Look under the x cubed column, find 216. The cube root is 6. I'll put a negative sign on it. The cube root of 64 from our blue sheet is 4. This one's positive because the radicand, or the number underneath, was positive. This is negative 6 because it was negative underneath. When we do the cube root of a fraction, we just do each part. Find 343 on the x cubed line and 125 on the x cubed line, and we would have 7/5.